Recording is on.
Okay, so our first topic was just status update, right? Global strike status update, maybe 12 to 24 minutes. So kind of like a quick update on what has happened over the last year and the next steps. Okay, and then hopefully you can step into different roles and activities.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Okay. So, are you ready for topic one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yes, you're right. I put this all in the wrong place. Okay. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, let's look at the status update. So basically, the main goal and focus here would be to choose between the private general strike and the public general strike. So if you want to, you can work on the private global general strike, which is what all these other people are doing, which is coming out of the US general strike. So the website that I have is the general strike .global, right? And so the main focus here is on like if we look at our values, it's all about decentralization, diversity, dissent, accessibility, transparency, and public accountability, scientific democracy, decentralized value distribution, which would be like all of our tokens and everything, interactivity, empowerment, mutual aid, and beneficial relationships. So basically a cooperative model of communication and empowerment across the world, right? So the other group is from the U.S., right? Which is generalstrikeus.com. So the General Strike US group, whoops, maybe I got that website wrong. Like this.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So the generalstrikeus.com is, it still has a lot of good values, but mainly just the dissent, diversity, decentralization. But they're not really decentralized. They don't really allow for dissent. They're very controlling and centralized, and there's not a lot of perspectives represented in this very small group that actually has control. So there's been a lot of kind of like issues going on inside General Strike US that are kind of coming to fruition right now, and we're trying to pass a proposal for a National Assembly, which I can link here. So the proposal for the National Assembly would be this one. It's like a resolution. So the resolution for the National Assembly, which is here, resolution for National Assembly, should have the right to appoint the international representative for general strike, right? In fact, I think we should add that in there, right? One like the 10th thing would be agreement to appoint the international representatives for the United States to the global general strike. Assembly, right?
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so different strikes have different motto or different cause. So how do you know that this cause is the strike cause is good for all of the people, or if sometimes sometimes dictator take some do some protest to benefit for their own. Do you understand what I'm meaning?
Yes, yeah. That's a really good question.
Uh,
It's a little bit of a skip ahead. So let's answer your question really quick. It's kind of a tangent. Basically, the question is, demands at the local versus global levels and everything between. And then you basically have the issue of, we want to get back to the issue of like how to set up the global general strike, public, right? So as far as like your question, if you go to the U.S. demands.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
I don't think they actually have the demands on their website. But basically, we have all of our demands. You can vote on the demands and prioritize whatever demands that you think are the best demands, right? So everything that I've built is all based on democracy and interactivity and, letting everybody vote and input their ideas of what we should be focusing on, right? So all of these
why do I vote? Why do I vote?
on the website.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'm sharing my screen as well to make sure you can see. So this would be the General Strike Global website for the demands. So you have all the demand categories, and then we have all the different demands. Again, you can vote on each specific demand and like some of the ideas behind the demands, right? So all of these demands should be applicable to global needs and global issues, right? But then the thing is that if you have a country demand, right, you can have a national strike at the same time as the global strike. So you could have global demands, right, and then you can have national demands at the same time. You can have state demands, and you can have local demands, and even per individual company, like if a company wants to strike at the same time as the general strike, they could have demands for their company as well, right? So in that context, you can have many different sets of demands simultaneously in relationship to what people need at different levels in their local or statewide or national communities, while also addressing the global demands. That sort of make sense?
Yes. So, as a U.S. citizen, you can do protest, or you can make an event with 100 people, or 200 people, or 500 people surrounding your local areas. But how do international someone, if someone wants to do something internationally, so how do they organize, or
So
how
the
do
the goal the goal of the international global general strike is to get 300 million people from countries all across the world to unite and to do one huge global strike all at the same time, right? So it'll be like a minimum of 300 people, 300 million people. So we would all strike at the same time in every single country across the entire world who wants to participate. Does that make sense? So it's a very
they?
big picture, big planning operation. It
Time
could
to
take years
pause.
to get set
Please
up.
stop.
Hold
Close
on.
your eyes. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And if you are going to do this type of level, if you want to go this type of level, so you have to have must have some financial backup.
Yes, we do fundraising. So on the website, there's fundraising. The U.S. General Strike has fundraised about $30,000 so far. So you could have fundraising, you could have budgets, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we get back in terms of like setting up the global General Strike public branch?
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. So the main question for you is, do you want to work with me to set up the global strike general public branch, right? So as I was mentioning before, I built a set of 3 core principles, protocols, right? So inclusive collaboration and improvement, democratic accountability and verification, and the third one is universal access and transparency. So basically what I am calling for, and I'll link that as well, what I'm calling for is a model where we build a general strike public, interactive, open space. We support private, so we support private and secret, planning for general strike, but because it affects all 8 billion people on the planet, for me, there has to be a public facing side as well. So you have public, live stream, documented, everything goes through AI, everything's recorded and transcribed and automatically translated into every single language, right? And then it's also going to be accessible to all languages, just like I went to a lot of trouble to make sure the website can easily be put in any language. So like, let's say you want to go to Bengali. I have no idea which one's Bengali, but here's Hindi, right? So you can put the website in all the languages. But what I'm working on is we now have the technology to have live translated AI, discussions in real time and have subtitles in every single language simultaneously across the world, right? So this is available now, and we can do it now, but it requires public, transparent, open sessions because everything's recorded, everything's transcribed, everything goes through AI. Corporations have access to all of it, governments have access to all of it, and no one should be sharing anything that is private, right? So people can create.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
All right, so I don't really have time for a break because I need to get going, but the point is that people can create all the private space that they want to, right? I don't care if people want to do private space. The problem I'm having is that people don't also want to create public space, and it's like, if we're going to do things that affect 8 billion people, the idea that nothing would be public makes no sense to me, right? So I stand firm that a core value is that there's public accessibility for all languages, all cultures, all communities, recorded, transcribed in all time. You don't have to be at the meeting, you can watch it afterwards. So it's just fully accessible to everyone, right? So if that's something that you want to be involved in, then you would just let me know now, and then we can go through the next steps of how to make that happen. Otherwise, you can just get involved in the private groups that are already started.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Please move on.
Yes, for sure. What?
For the public,
Cool. For the public branch, right? And just to make sure it's clear on the website, if we go, well, here, let me go back into English. But there's all the different languages, of course. So in the English, if you go to organize, you can see how, and mainly we're using Discord, but we can use, we're thinking about getting set up with Matrix as well as other, like basically we have an open, people can create any platform they want, but you have the public and the private. So on every single language, every single country, there'll be public and private communication channels so that people are able to communicate in the model that they want, right? So I have no problem supporting and giving money, doing everything we can to help private communications, all perfectly fine. But the idea is also to have the public communications because it affects so many people. So what do we need to do? So obviously we need to, build. Well, no, the first thing we need to do is need to schedule a global session, right? That is a public global session. So the private global session. Let me let me write that down real quick, is already scheduled. So the private global session already scheduled. So let's just double check and see when it's scheduled for. And again, this is on the private Signal chat that I can't even invite anyone to and have lots of issues with, so hopefully they're going to fix it all. But let's see here. So it says Monday, August 25th, which I think would be August 25th, 26th. So I would say August 25, 26, Monday, Tuesday at 8:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:15 p.m. Lisbon, I'm assuming this is like UTC, I don't know, 5:15 p.m. in Paris, that's France, and 6:15 p.m. in Athens. So I don't know exactly what time that would be for Bangladesh.
Okay, let me.
Yeah. Anyway, so let me get the link to the meeting, which is on the website here. So if we go to posts.
Okay, it's 9:15 p.m. Sunday.
Say what?
Okay, it's 9:15 p.m.
9:15 p.m. In Bangladesh, right? Cool. All right. So so bottom line is that this is the link for the global scheduling. So if the private scheduling was done in a private link in a private chat, and we couldn't share it, we couldn't do anything with it, right? So the idea is the public session would be shared publicly, and everyone could vote publicly, right, and actually do it. I share this link everywhere, and I ask for people to schedule the public session, and just I get completely ignored, and no one wants to do it, right? So basically what you'd want to do is you would go here and you put your name and then you vote for all the times over the next couple weeks until September 20th for when we would schedule the session.
May I have a question, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I sign in here and make and do I need to propose for session, open session?
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I don't quite understand. What is the question here?
Okay, so I sign in here and I vote.
Yeah, you just vote and put in your scheduling availability, like all the time that you're available for, and you make sure that your time zone is correct, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so if it's just the two of us, we can still schedule, right? We don't need permission from anyone else to schedule our global strike group. Okay? That make sense? So we would just go ahead and schedule it. If other people want to schedule with us, they can. If everyone wants to ignore us and be like, no, we only want private, then it's fine. They can all just do their private and not support the public side of things if that's how they want to be, right? So I support the private and the public. It's like, let's do both, right? Like why would we not do both? So in the context, and people can be anonymous, they can, use different voice changing software, so we can help people change their voice and be completely anonymous, and just don't share any private information during the public session. So what we need to do from there is we need to prepare for the public global session. And the most important things is to set up the real-time automatic translation and transcription of all the subtitles for the session, and this will allow anyone from any country to communicate in any language in real time. Okay? So we need to get that set up. We also need to set up a instruction communications model for Matrix and Discord on how to communicate in any language using text and message, right? Text messages, right? So we're going to be also setting up on Discord and Matrix a all language communication strategy for communicating in all languages in real time using text messaging on Discord and Matrix. Okay?
Okay.
So those are the first two key core steps. I would say both of these steps could be client work because they help the entire FQV network and the whole co-op, right? So basically, multi-language real-time communications, let's give this like a normal, I don't know, whatever, $4 client or $5 client value, right, set up. So that would be like, I don't know, $10, $15, $20 to set this all up in relationship to just like
Time
bonuses.
to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Does that make sense? But it's only because it's applicable to the entire network, but we need to get it set up specifically for the global strike. Okay, but you asked about client work before, so I'm just giving you an example of like there's a little overlap. So in relationship to other next steps is so we need to draft the National Assembly for the Global Assembly, right? So the Global Assembly, we would just take this document that we made for the National Assembly, and we would just duplicate it for the Global Assembly. So it's just a matter of, there's 5 documents though, so when you go to the resolution for the National Assembly, there's 5 documents that go over each and every component of the National Assembly. So in that context, it is basically, why create an international assembly? Why create a global assembly? The resolution to create the global assembly, which we'd want to pass through 9 countries, and then the assignments for what the global assembly would do, and then the guidelines on how the global assembly would be run, and then the next steps for getting the global assembly set up, right? So we would just update in all of those documents and do that. So if that's something you wanted to do, you could. But again, that is definitely not client work. Okay. So that is another next step. From there, I think we could get started right now on listing all the countries currently involved. So obviously we have the U.S., we have Canada, we have Mexico, we've got Bangladesh, we have France, England, looks like Greece, Spain. We can easily do Kenya. Who else do we have? Martins is in Kenya too. Ali, where's Ali? Ali's on Bangladesh. Anyway, so I think those are the main countries that we have currently. Mahi, maybe, I don't know if Mahi would want to get involved. Mahi doesn't really do verbal communication, audio, But Mahi is in India, I believe. So we should probably easily be able to get India, but we would just actually have to do that. So anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Time
5,
for
6,
breath.
7, 8, 9.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
So the goal would be to get 9 countries set up and functional for improving the decision to create the International Global Assembly, and then the Global Assembly could start its work, right? From there, I think that we would want to, yeah, so we'll be setting up each national chapter across the world, and then we would be ideally getting the global assembly approved, right? So I mean, I think those are pretty much the next steps that I can think of, starting with scheduling and getting the scheduling going for the session, because then once the session is scheduled, we can invite people to the session, because I think the best thing to do is just experience it. And it's perfectly fine if there's 2 organizations doing in the movement. I mean, there could be dozens of organizations all working together and building coalitions and stuff. So the world is a big place, So hopefully people are open to collaborating and building new ideas and new structures. So I think overall that is the main next steps that we want to do. So do you have any other questions on anything or anything else?
Yeah, I have a question and comment.
Yeah.
I have a question that is this co-op is going to work with these for a very long time or just for a few days or months?
I don't understand. Can you say your question again or write it down?
Okay, so the co-op is going to do this project for next few months, few years?
No. This is I don't think you quite understand the structure. So there's FQV, right? And then we have the co-op. So the co-op is like our main organizing principle and is what we mainly do. But then we basically do sponsorship and we support, unlimited social and community projects, right?
Yeah.
So this is just one of the many, many, many projects that we support
Time
ongoing.
to pause. Please
Right?
stop.
So it's
Close
just like
your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But cooperative organizing and building a global decentralized co-op is very important. So it's always good to understand the bigger picture, and that is the Coalition for Decentralized Movement Organizing, right? So this website is coalition.community, and if you go to the coalition website, this is the Coalition for Decentralized Movement Organizing. So this is like the foundation to all of the work that I've done for 20 years. It really comes down to this. And it's all about strike, protest, boycott, co-op, mutual support, right? All of the big movements across the world collaborating and working together, right?
Okay.
So basically here you have, activity, you have the global protest movements, 200, 201, the general strike, mutual aid support communities, right? And just continuing to, the boycotts, the protests, the strikes, the co-ops, right? So the idea is to connect the co-op into the coalition, right? The co-op would be part of the coalition vision of having cooperative organizing going on. Does that sort of make sense? So the co-op branch is like one branch to the broader coalition, but we're not running any of these programs. These programs run themselves. We just support the programs, right? So for this example, right, we could easily budget like, $5, $10, $20, maybe $100 towards supporting the global general strike setup, but it's very, very limited the amount of funds we have for that. What we do have funds for, as you know, we have clients that are hiring the co-op to do a lot of work that we never do, right? Including all the assets coordination. We have money for all of the nonprofit coordination and the taxes. We have money for all of the token, umbrella token, and the media setup, right? So that's the other thing is that we need to set up the public global strike media, right? The public global strike, web media and social communication. So that's very important. There's a couple already set up that I did, but we need to connect them, and this is all very important. Again, doing multimedia, there's a lot of multimedia that we have client work for. So if you want to work on the umbrella multimedia planning or the co-op multimedia planning or the multimedia planning for some of our clients, you can get paid public global strike multimedia. There's no budget for it, right? So if you want to work on the multimedia and the social media for the public global strike, you can, but we currently don't have a budget.
Time
But
to
if you
stretch.
do want to work on,
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
so if you want to work on the automated multimedia models, so setting up multimedia and automated, websites and automated social media, that you can get paid for that, right? Because that is just doing the actual foundational work for all the websites, all of the social media systems, utilizing the AI and UI models to automate everything to make it much more functional, right? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Right? Because like once we can automate the websites and automate the social media, then it'll all go much faster because we have 100 different projects, right? And 100 different social media accounts, right? So that is something that you're welcome to work on. That would help the global strike, but it's not actually working on the global strike. So anyways, the point is that there's tons and tons of assignments that just no one's doing the work, right? And we have lots of deadlines, including the deadlines for the taxes, which are all due. That someone needs to work on, right? So, but that's all related to the co-op. So hopefully that answers your question. Did you have any other questions or other comments? Otherwise, I need to get going here.
Yeah, comment is that the main goal is to make a simple cost to extraordinary to I mean to spread to mass people. That's the goal.
Say again.
I mean, the protest. We are protesting for any causes, right? So if the cause goes to mass people, then that will be very good for us to foreign and successful for a successful strike.
Yes.
I don't know what you understand.
Yes, exactly. I mean it's building up enough people, so there's a lot of outreach. We should also do orientation and onboarding for the global strike. So we need to create a whole set of onboarding materials and do recordings and record all of the onboarding for the global strike. That would be a great next step. I think probably one of the most important things is basically just build all of the orientation materials and do an orientation and going over how everything functions and what everything is for the global strike, right? For the public model, right?
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we would just build and create the global strike public model, and then other people might create their onboarding materials and everything for the global strike private model. So there might be different types of onboarding depending on whether you're doing the global model or the public model or the private model, but either way it's basically the same thing. I mean, we're all working for the same goal. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
Okay, Jay, I need to. This is a very late at the morning here, so
Yeah, I need to go
will
too.
research all the. I'll research all the documents. I haven't read yet, so I need to read those things. And for honestly, for the last 5 6 years, this time I'm having something interesting.
Yeah. I feel like what I would like to do is I would like to hear your story right? So like you were talking about on your on Discord, how you know you just collapsed the hybrid dictator regime from our country in Bangladesh last year using the strike against them and have orchestrated since 2010. It's been over 20, isn't that 15 years, right? And involved human
Yeah.
rights organizations locally. And 2,000 people died to get rid of the dictator. And then you have this documentary that we can add to our notes about, taking down the dictator in Bangladesh. So obviously you have some experience, which is excellent, and we should utilize that and work and collaboratively with everyone else across the world and help bring that to them. So I think that's a really beautiful vision, and I think that people would want to
And
hear your story.
one thing, yeah, one thing. Last year, in 2024, Bangladesh was the best country all over the world at the award winner last year.
The winner of
The
what?
first, the award winning the best country of the year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And after best country of the year, let me give you the link. You know, it was. I don't know if you saw those documentaries and newses. It was huge. I mean, these days, people actually doesn't want to risk
Time for
their
breath.
life, right?
Please stop and get
But
ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
okay, it happened middle age, like 500, 600 years ago. But in these days and these modern times, you don't, you can't believe your eyes. Police is shooting at people. Over 5,000, 500,000 people is there, and and one, two, three, four, just getting down, and people are coming front. It was amazing, Jay. You cannot believe it. We can just see it at movie theater, Hollywood movie theater. We don't see it for real, but the real is happened.
Wow.
And do you remember that I shared with you like 2, 3 years back? I told you guys that we are in a situation that extrajudicial killing, then many enforced disappearance, lots of things happening in our country, and those times we are organizing like 10 to 12 years. It took us to defeat that giant. She was a monster. She was just like monster. What you call that mad, crazy king, crazy queen. She just Jobai. How do you call it? She she divide a person. She divide a person with a knife. I mean, from his throat, and it was came out from a news agency, and those people were actually exiled in your country. I mean, a few news reporter is still in your country and living, and they're spreading us the genuine news to unite our people.
Time to
So
pause.
it was
Please
huge.
stop.
Thank you.
Close your eyes. Count. 1, 2, 3,
I'm
4,
done.
5. Open your eyes.
Nice. Well, it all sounds pretty awesome, Mamoon. You know, I think everybody would love to hear these stories and would want to connect and collaborate and just learn about and just unite with the movements in Bangladesh to bring it across the world. So it gives people hope, you know? So, anyways, let's
Yeah.
see how this goes. Try to see if you can connect into the U.S. general strike. If you go to the website,
Yeah.
this would be right. So you go to general strike, and then you would want to
Strike,
go to organize, and then you would go
organize.
to America's United States left private. Right, so it's this
Okay.
one. So if you connect on United
Left
States left
private.
private,
Okay.
this will take you to the private Discord, which is has
Okay.
21,684 people on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Huge.
huge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger
Okay.
Discords.
Let, let me go
Cool. All right. So, anyways, I got to get going here, but I will talk to you soon.
there.
I
Okay.
think we have a lot of
Hope.
clear next steps here. We just need to get that
Thank you.
session scheduled as
Thank
soon as
you.
possible.
Yeah.
And then what I really want to do is just set the global strike model up with the the lunar and the planetary sessions, right? Because that would make the most sense for the global scheduling is to just synchronize with planetary and lunar sessions, and that's something we could also vote on if we wanted to do that. But for now, we just need to at least get the first sessions going. And just schedule one-time sessions, but then eventually we could get regular sessions along with the planetary sessions, you know?
Yes.
Because that's what they're for, is global organizing just like this.
Yes. And um, are you going to available at tomorrow? Maybe Hydra is
Again,
three.
this is when the session is like Zuri Hydra is when the session is tomorrow for the global private call. And I can't record it, I can't document it. I mean, there'll probably be some notes, but even the notes are going to be on a private server. I mean, I just have no idea. So, my whole thing during that call is basically pushing a public global communications model. And then if everyone's against it, then it's just me and you. If we can find, another couple people who are interested in joining something else, then maybe we'll find them. But overall, it's just like I don't even know how to connect people in and get people involved in because it's all private.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
So hopefully there'll be some people who are
Find
willing
a way
to
out.
build on building more public collaborative spaces, you know?
Yes, you have my word and you have my 100% support, on this work.
Coolio, coolio. Anyways, this is one of the many programs that I've been working on for years and over a year for this, but all the other stuff are much longer. But anyways, I'll talk to you soon, Mamoon. You take
Actually,
care.
I have a plan on this. Definitely I will initiate a protest or something that we are actually under attack for on some disaster, natural disaster like cloudburst and something new or huge um, huge raining is happening in our country. So in our country, the subcontinent area, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all of us is under very bad natural disaster attack. So I am definitely going to go for some sort of protest that's against the global warming. Jay, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, sounds all good, dude. Let's keep connected. All right.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
just keep scheduling with me. Keep connecting. I mean, I basically work all day every day. It's just a matter of like you know scheduling and having
yes,
priorities. There's just so many priorities. Taxes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
taxes is
Yeah,
definitely a huge
and
top priority.
I will ask you question. Definitely, I will have question, and I'll ask you through Discord.
And taxes is a huge top priority. If you can check in with Lucy and try to see what's going on with
Yeah.
her, that would be good. I mean, she basically disappeared, so I don't know what's going on with Lucy, but you should try to get in touch with her too. I'll talk to you soon, Moon. Take care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right. Ciao.
Recording has